Welcome back to Event Advice by CrowdComms. I'm Will, the product director, joined as always by Matt, the managing director. Today we're going to be talking about event apps. So bread and butter for CrowdComms. Matt, there is a myth out there that event apps aren't being used and organisers and attendees just keep returning to them for no reason whatsoever. Give me your thoughts on that myth.
I think they're definitely being used. I think the key bit is that when you're looking at a piece of technology, that you understand how to use it, you understand how to promote it, and you understand that there is value in that particular case to use one. I always say to people, if you're looking at your event and you want people to have a snapshot of an agenda, look at the sessions, add sessions, favorite sessions, you create your own personalized agenda. If you have an event where you want to encourage networking, and I want to look through a delegate list and be paired with people with meeting matching, or if you want to be able to communicate with that audience and push notifications to let them know that things are happening, is there a better way of delivering it than on an event app? And there isn't at the moment. So whilst that is the case, then we are still going to continue doing event apps, and we're going to continue supporting clients with having great experiences on site.
So you kind of touched on it there, but in what scenario, we don't want people to do this, but in what scenario should you just think, actually, this is just a checkbox exercise I'm going through. I'm not going to have time to put into my event app. Should I be using one? Should everyone be just doing it regardless?
No, I don't think it should be used for every event. I think there's plenty of events where it's not really appropriate. So if it's purely a small networking event or a drinks, I have people come to me for a 30-person drinks event, and I think, come on, you're going to spend 2 or 3 days building this, and actually people are going to be focused on having those conversations face to face and drinking wine or drinking a cocktail. So I'd say no, don't use one. But so sometimes the size of the event would dictate the kind of relevance of an event app. Having said that, you have very small events like incentive trips, where they want to know their flight itinerary, who they're being picked up, where their hotel is, who they're going with, the other people they're going to be joining the experience with, what their itinerary is going to be in terms of dinners and activities while they're there. And again, is there an easier way of doing it than having it all on a phone? Whatever people say, the first thing we do in the morning is we check our mobile device. We all do it. I blooming hate the things, I still do it. We use it as our day-to-day tool. And as long as we are doing that, then people are going to lean into the event app. Our responsibility is to make sure they best leverage it, promote it correctly, use it in the correct way, guide people on the best way to leverage the features, the functionality, so they get the most from it. People say to me, I had a really poor adoption rate. Did you tell them why to download the event app? Why do I need to get this tool? What do I get from it? Tell people what they get from that tool. Give them the easiest way to access it. And then where you guys come in, make sure that it is easy to get onto. Single sign-on, boom, we're in. Is it a native app? Is it a progressive web application? Do we have a web-based solution? Can people look at it on a tablet or their desktop if they don't want to download an app? That's your responsibility. And then we promote it and we build it in the correct way.
So what are the features that people are engaging with most in event apps?
It depends on the event format. So you might have a corporate event where it's geared around session engagement. So we're looking at, how do our team, our employees feel? What value do they feel in the content we're delivering, the message that we're giving? How can we make them feel like they've got a voice? They ask questions, they do live polling. We could have gamifications and challenges. So that would be a particular use case for a small corporate event or conference. You have the bigger trade shows where the focus is going to be on mapping, wayfinding, delegates, the visitors going and seeing the exhibitors, facilitating those meetings, whether it's just ad hoc matchmaking meetings or hosted buyer meetings, where we've got to make sure that we give those value to those exhibitors who are paying a huge amount to be there. So there's different features that are used based on the different types of format of event. We're doing one this weekend, which is a festival. So we've got all of the food suppliers, the drink suppliers, the band lineup. You choose your schedule, different stages. And again, that's more of an information-based piece of equipment. Post your photos, post your activity feeds, videos and things. So different events will use the features in different ways. And our job is to help people leverage the right features to make sure we meet their success outcomes.
Yeah.
First question I always ask, and the guys ask here, is what does success look like for your event? And then we are going to work backwards from that point to advise them on the best features to use to create those successful outcomes.
Do you think people are just kind of, they think they do the event up ahead of time and then they potentially forget about it during the event? They're not using the real-time features to keep people up to date and engaged?
I think, actually, no. I think before the event, clients are really good on the whole, so they're promoting it really well now. We've got loads of materials and assets to help them to do that. I think during the event, clients tend to be really good as well. People are leveraging it. They've taken on board the advice. We've got different support models that enable you to do that. But even if you're not using our support, these planners, they know how to use technology. The teams that are building this, they understand it. It's bread and butter to them now, actually. The registration, event app, the badge printing software, they all get it, they understand it. So I think they're doing that well. The bit perhaps we can get better at is post-event. How do we continue to communicate with our audience? How do we use it to join up the next event? How do we drive engagement of the next one? So that's the bit that I think people perhaps are less effective with. How can we look at that data and help it to improve that event? That's one of the big challenges that you've been working on, is enabling people to create those really bespoke reports that give them a snapshot of the effectiveness of a specific part of the event, and to be able to say, okay, well, that worked really well, let's focus on that next year, or perhaps we need to do that differently. So I think that's probably the area we need to get better, and ourselves get better, and our clients get better educated as well.
Yeah. So learning from your event, making sure that, like you said, we're looking at ways to look at on a granular delegate level, routes through your event, actually see where the most popular things were, what each individual person interacted with, and then aggregating that data so you could actually see it from a higher level to see what was a success, what wasn't.
Exactly, and that's where I know it's a bit of a buzzword, but we're really leaning into AI, aren't we?
Yeah.
To help us do that.
Yeah, because everyone's trying to get slightly different analytics out of their event. I mean, there is commonality, obviously, across the sorts of engagement metrics that people want to find out, but to really tailor your event next time, it's that you might have a really specific question you want to ask.
Yeah.
Which, even the best analytics tool in the world, you're going to have to be a bit of an expert and dig into the user journeys and things like that to find out. We want to leverage AI to actually give you a natural language way to just ask the question you're trying to find the answer to.
We shipped Will Custard in from New York and paid him £5,000. Can you demonstrate the return on investment on that session? We know 200 people watched it. How much engagement was there? How many people participated in the polling? How many people asked questions? How many people gave it 5-star ratings? If I can literally just target the data lake and ask a question that gives me that specific data, that enables me to make sure that I get you back or not get you back the year later, we'd probably get you back.
I mean, it sounds expensive. A little
Cheap.
Not sure you're going to get much.
Cheap at half the price, Will. Cheap at half the price.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Well, I guess fly me first class, I suppose.
Of course.
Yeah. Wonderful. All right, I think that's enough of event apps for now. Remember to like and subscribe down below if you can, and we'll see you next time.